I think we'll start with a nice child's pose this morning. So sit down on your heels, bring your knees out wide, and then reach forward, bring your forehead down. Oh, stretch it out. Maybe put a rock into it if you'd like. Really try to lengthen through the spine, keep your belly engaged, and then begin to tune into that ujjayi breath. Nice, deep, ocean sounding breath. Take an inhale, try to walk the hands out a little further, lengthen more through the arms, through the spine, and then on your exhale, try to keep everything nice and long as you walk your hands over to the right side of your mat. Maybe you'd like to place your left hand on top of the right, feeling a deeper stretch along the left side body, in that shoulder, between the ribs. Try to keep the hips low. Next inhale, walk your hands back center, really trying to reach forward more as you go, lengthening out as you go. And then on your exhale, walk everything over to the left, maybe placing your right hand on top of the left. Here, if you took that option on the other side, next inhale, walk back center here with the hands reaching further. Take 3 breaths. Push yourself up to hands and knees for some cat-cow. Spread the fingers wide. Take an inhale. Hammock the spine. Look up. And then exhale. Push the ground away. Pull your belly in. Tuck your chin. Look towards your belly. Inhale. And exhale. Let's do 3 more rounds here. Matching that movement with the breath. After your 3rd round, bring the big toes together again, knees wide, come back into child's pose. See if you can't sink the hips a little lower, reach the arms a little longer. And big inhale, stretch. Exhale, thread the needle. Right arm goes across the chest under the left arm. Nice deep breaths. Big inhale. And on your exhale, bring that arm back out. Inhale here. Exhale, thread the left arm now under the right. Big inhale. Exhale that left arm back out. Take an inhale. And then on your exhale, back up to hands and knees. We're going to keep the right hand and right knee planted here and take a variation of side plank. So we're going to step that left foot back and roll open to the left side of your mat. Reach your left arm up. And your gaze can be wherever is comfortable for your balance and for your neck. Try to keep the chest broadened, keep everything lifted. Maybe for the last few breaths, you'd like to try lifting that left leg. Keeping the foot flexed will help with balance here. Keeping your core engaged, belly button pressed back towards the spine will help with balance. And then we'll come back down into hands and knees. And then keep that left hand, left leg planted. Step the right foot back and reach the right arm up. Try to open everything out here to the right side of the room, pressing into everything that's connected to your mat. Active here. Maybe lifting that right leg if you took that option on the other side for a little extra challenge with your balance. Keep your core engaged. Keep everything tight here. Press. And then we'll come back into tabletop. Let's walk our hands out, coming into puppy dog. So keep your hips up over the knees. Reach your arms long. Drop that chest down towards the mat. Nice stretch across the upper back. Breathe into it. Last few breaths. Maybe you'd like to place your hands in prayer behind the head, pulling back on the elbows, stretching the triceps. Go ahead and bring your arms back out. You can walk your hands back under you. Let's step back into a plank. So you can take this from your knees if you'd like. Push the ground away, really engage the core, including the quads here, belly tight. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to drop all the way down to our belly, nice and slow. Bring our right arm out to the side, left hand under the left shoulder. Push into that left hand and roll yourself over onto your right arm. Your left foot can stay on the ground behind that right leg if you'd like, or maybe you can extend that leg long. Just put a little more weight there in the low body to roll that left hip a little further down towards the mat. Feel this stretch here in the right shoulder, in front of the arm. One more breath. And then we'll roll back over under our belly. Extend the left arm now, right hand under that shoulder to help push you over. And then you can have that right foot on the ground or extend the leg, your choice. Your right hand can just stay there on the mat for support. Head is rested on the mat. One more breath. We'll come back onto our belly. Hands at push-up position there under the shoulders. Tuck your toes and engage your legs so your kneecaps lift, your quads lift. Lift your hips, lift your belly. Finally, then lift your chest to a hover. See if you can't push yourself all the way up, reverse push up, and then back into downward dog. Once you're in downward dog, pedal out your heels. Stretch the backs of the legs. Maybe sway the hips a little side to side. Maybe some hops with the heels, little pulses. Into it. It's okay if you need to keep your knees bent slightly. It's okay if heels are lifted off the mat. The goal is to make an upside down V with the body. So lifting the hips up, pulling the belly in, pressing into the heel of the hands, and getting your torso a little closer to your thighs. We'll inhale the right leg up, three-legged dog, and then exhale, bend that knee. Try to reach your foot for your left shoulder. Press equally into both hands. So most likely some weight came out of that right palm. Press into it. Try to keep the left knee pointed straight ahead. And then we'll inhale back into our three-legged dog and exhale, release that foot back to the mat. Pedal out the heels again. And then inhale the left leg up. Exhale, bend the knee, reaching that foot for the right shoulder, trying to stack the left hip, roll that left hip back on top of the right, getting your belly to face the left side of the room. And we'll inhale back to three-legged dog and exhale, release that foot to the mat. Pedal out the heels one last time. And then we'll slowly walk our feet up to meet our hands and hang in ragdoll. Bend the knees a little bit here. You can grab opposite elbows above the head and just hang heavy over your legs. Maybe shake your head a little bit, releasing any tension in the neck and shoulders. And then we'll release elbows, heel toe the feet together. And inhale, half lift, lengthening the spine here. Exhale, fold forward. Again, inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Once more, inhale. It's okay to have the knees bent. If you need to, you still feel it. Exhale. Now inhale up to standing, circle sweep up the arms. Exhale, hands through heart center, mountain pose. Take a breath. We're going to start with a couple moon salutations before we get to our sun salutations this morning. So inhale, reach up, stretch, exhale, pull the belly in and fold, rounding over the legs. And then inhale, step that left foot back, drop the knee, come up into your low lunge. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back to downward dog. Inhale, drop the knees, cow. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, onto the knees, reaching up. Exhale, bring your hands in prayer behind the head, come down onto your elbows, or if that's too difficult, just take another child's pose. And then we'll inhale forward into cobra on your belly, lifting up. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale the left foot forward now, drop the back knee, low lunge. Exhale, plant your hands, step the right foot to meet the left, and fold, round over the legs. Inhale up to standing, reaching up, stretching up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, let's send the right foot back. Now, low lunge. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, cow. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, reach up. Exhale into elbows. Inhale onto your belly and up into cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, step the right foot forward, low lunge. Exhale, plant your hands, step forward, fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward, sun A's now. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step or jump back, lower yourself down. Elbows brush the sides of the body. Come all the way down or to a hover. Inhale, up, cobra or upward dog. Exhale into your downward dog. Hold here for a couple breaths. Take an inhale. Prepare on that exhale. And then bring yourself forward and lengthen your spine on your inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach it up, stretch. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, take it back, lower down. Belly tight. Everything lowers at the same rate. Inhale up. Exhale back. We don't want our hips or our belly touching the mat before everything else. It'll hurt your low back. So we want to keep the spine strong, straight, just like you're holding a plank as you lower down. Take an inhale. Prepare on your exhale. Forward and lengthen on your inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up. Maybe even reaching back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, take it back and lower. Inhale it up. Exhale, then back to downward dog. Feel free to take that chaturanga, that little push up in your flow from your knees. If you are feeling your hips or your belly lower to the mat before anything else, if you're having a hard time keeping everything engaged and straight as you lower, then just drop the knees from your plank and then lower down. Be mindful to keep the elbows in close to the rib cage and the belly engaged. Take an inhale. Exhale, prepare. Inhale forward and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale up to standing, reach up. Exhale, cactus the arms, take a little back bend. Lift the chest up towards the ceiling. Squeeze the elbows behind you. Inhale, back up. Palms touch overhead. Exhale into that back bend again. Inhale. Exhale once more. Inhale. Let's hook the thumbs, palms facing forward, and bring the feet just hip width apart here. Toes pointed straight ahead. Take an inhale. Lift, lengthen, pull your belly in, and exhale over to the right. Bump the left hip out. When our feet are separated here in this modification of Ardha Chandrasana, we're able to come a little deeper into it because we feel a little more stable. Make sure your legs are engaged, quads are engaged. Quads are really strong, holding you here, belly's engaged. Inhale back up and exhale over. Other side. Big stretch along the right side of the body. Bump that right hip out. Keep breathing. Inhale back up. Exhale, cactus the arms, take a back bend. See if you can't come back a little further each time. Inhale, back up. Exhale again, come back a little further, drop the head back. Inhale. Exhale, one more time. Inhale, back up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, take it back, take a flow. Inhale your right foot to the top of the mat. Come up to a high lunge. So lift that heel over your toes on your left foot. Exhale your hands to heart center. We're going to take a twist. So set up, make sure you're stable in the low body. Inhale, lift the chest, pull the belly in. Exhale, begin to twist to the right and then hinge forward, trying to hook that elbow on the outside of your right knee. Press into the palms or the fingertips. Keep your hips squared behind you. Keep that back leg nice and strong. Keep breathing. Inhale back to center. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, take a flow, or just meet in downward dog. If you need a break at any point, just skip the flows. Inhale your left foot forward now. Come up to that high lunge. Making sure to set up nice and strong in the low body here. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take an inhale, lift, lengthen, pull the belly in. Exhale, begin to twist and then hinge forward. Open the chest towards the left side of the room. Roll that left shoulder back. Keep the spine nice and long. Inhale back to center. Exhale, plant your hands and take a flow. Take an inhale. Prepare on your exhale. And then come forward on your inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Inhale up to standing. Exhale, hands through heart center into mountain pose. Take a breath. We're going to take our 3-part chair we do in Bikram. So separate your feet, hip width apart. Toes are pointed straight ahead. Keep the feet parallel to the edges of your mat. Inhale, arms straight out in front of you and glue your fingers together. Arms are strong here. Pull the shoulders back as you lift the chest. And then exhale, sink your hips down into your seat. Make sure that you can lift your toes. The weight is back in the heels, and you can bring those toes back down. Keep your chest lifted as you sink the hips. Little bit of reach forward here to counterbalance that lowering of the hips. Keep the knees lifted, and then slowly rise. Come on up to the toes. And then we're going to slide down an imaginary wall. So now we keep our shoulders over our hips. Focus more on the feet and the ankles. Pick those heels up more. Drive those ankles further forward. Again, keep knees lifted as hips lower. And then rise. Drop your heels. Keep your arms strong. Last bit here. You're going to bring your heels up just a bit so that you can pinch the knees together. Zipper up your thighs. Slowly slide down that imaginary wall again. Really press the knees and thighs together. Come down as low as you can. Being mindful of the knees. If knees hurt, come out of it a bit. We're just hovering over the heels. Knees stay lower than those hips, and upper body is back. Really squeeze the thighs together and come up with control. And release. You can bring the feet back to touch. Take a breath here in mountain pose. And let's take a flow. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, back and lower. Inhale your left foot forward. Come up to high lunge. We're going to bring our hands to heart center. And then we're going to come forward into warrior three. So lift that back leg up. You want the heel in line with your hip. Hip is rolled down though in line with the left hip. We're going to bend that standing leg and tap the knee behind us. The right knee behind the left leg. And then inhale, extend out. If you need to modify, just bring hands to the mat or fall into it and tap. And then extend. Exhale once more. Tap. And then extend back into your warrior three. We're going to come forward and wrap the right leg over the left. So eagle legs here. You can just keep the hands at heart center if you'd like, or try to bring the arms up on an inhale and then exhale the arms into eagle arms as well. Right arm will be under the left. Holding here. On your inhale, release, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Let's take a flow. Work with your breath here. Leaning back in downward dog. We'll inhale the right foot to the top of the mat now. Come up to your high lunge. Exhale, hands to heart center. Come forward into your warrior three. Take a breath here to find your balance. We want our belly engaged, reaching the chest forward, and then you're going to bend into that standing leg and tap left knee behind the right. Inhale it back out. Nice and slow. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale once more. Inhale. Back to that warrior three. Then we're going to bring the knee forward, wrap the left leg over the right, sink the hips, cross the legs, and then hands can stay where they're at, or you can inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, now left arm will go under the right. Keep the upper body back, squeeze everything tight. Sink the hips low, keep the belly engaged. Inhale, release, reach it up, stretch. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, take a flow or meet in downward dog. Inhale the right foot forward, plant the back foot now, and open up into warrior two. Coming down nice and low. Back leg is engaged. Press that outer edge of the left foot down, seal it to the mat. Straighten your front leg, extended triangle. Reach forward, rotate your arms, coming down into it. Flatten out from the side, so keep your torso in line with that front leg. Belly is engaged, lifting yourself here towards the ceiling, holding yourself with your strength, your core strength, and your grip is just there for support on that right leg. Inhale, back up. Turn your right toes in, and we'll take a wide leg stretch here. We'll bring our hands behind for a clasp. We're going to take a shoulder rinse with this first one. Make sure that you have a nice wide stance and your toes are pointed slightly inward. Inhale, pull down on the arms, lift the chest. Exhale, hinge at the waist, at the hips. Come down with a nice long spine. When you can't fold anymore, then drop the head. Keep the belly tight. Keep the legs engaged. Lift the arms away from the body. Rolling the weight forward into the feet. You're not going to fall forward. So rock the weight forward. It's going to help you lengthen the spine. Get the head a little closer to your mat. Slowly begin to look forward and inhale yourself back up. Bring your arms out to a T. Come back into that warrior two. And then exhale, plant your hands, step back and take a flow. Inhale your left foot forward. Come up to your warrior two. Settling nice and low into your lunge. Arms are very strong, reaching actively in opposite directions. Shoulders stay down away from the ears though. Make sure your left knee doesn't start to track inward. Stretch the hips. Now we're going to straighten the front leg. Don't pop the right hip out. Lean forward and come down into your extended triangle. Belly engaged. Maybe think about engaging that back leg a little more. Press into the right foot. Push the hips forward a little more. Shoulders back a little more. Flatten out. And then we'll inhale back into our warrior two. And then exhale, plant your hands and take a flow. Inhale the right foot forward, warrior two. Settle down nice and low. We're gonna set up for extended side angle. So I have a few options for you. You can bring your elbow to your front knee, slice the left arm out in front of you. You could also bring your right hand to the mat on the inside or the outside of that right foot. Or maybe you'd like to lift that right arm to the side of the head for more of a challenge. Hold here, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale back to warrior two. Straighten that front leg, turn the toes in. We'll take another wide leg stretch, this time with a grip of your choice. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull the belly in. Reach your chest and chin forward as you come down. When you can't fold anymore, find your grip. Maybe behind the heels. Maybe you grab the big toes with the 2 peace fingers. Maybe you modify and grab ankles or calves. Then with your grip, take another inhale, lengthen the spine, draw the belly button back towards the spine, and then exhale, come down into it using your grip to pull you a little closer to your legs. Weight forward in the feet. Get the weight out of the heels. Inhale, halfway here. We're going to release our grip and then exhale, bring the hands to your hips and inhale all the way up to standing. We're going to come back into that warrior two and then exhale, plant your hands, take a flow or meet in downward dog. Other side, inhale that left foot forward, come up to warrior two. Just for about a breath here to set up for our extended side angle. So elbow to knee or hand to mat, and then slice that right arm out into the side of the head. Take any other modifications. If you lifted that left arm for more of a challenge,
And then think about energetically drawing the heels towards one another. Activate that low body more. 3, 2, 1. Inhale back into your warrior 2. Let's turn the left toes in. We'll do a little bit of squat work. So hands can come to heart center, and we'll heel toe our feet a little closer to each other and let the toes point outward now. We'll come down halfway. So you can just stay here. You could bring your arms out to a T. You could even rock. Bring the right arm to the inside of the right knee, and then back up, and then to the left, and back up, and then right. Work with your breath here. Left, and we'll just do one more on each side. Good. Go ahead and come back up. Come into that warrior 2. And then hands plant, take a flow, or meet in down dog. Go ahead and come down into child's pose. Let's take a few breaths here. Shift yourself forward onto your belly. Let's do some spinal strengthening. So we've already done quite a bit of cobra and upward dog. So let's go right into half locust. You're going to roll your arms underneath you, laying on your arms. Try to get your pinkies to touch underneath. Try to get maybe even your hands or wrists or forearms touching. You're going to relax your left leg and inhale your right leg up. So you should feel both hip bones down on your wrists or forearms. Don't roll your right hip up to lift that leg. Leg is straight. It's actively reaching back as you're lifting it up. Pulse for 3, 2, 1. Bring it down, relax it, exhale. Inhale then the left leg up. So right leg is relaxed. We're not pushing it into the mat to lift that left leg. Pulse for 3, 2, 1. Bring that leg down. Bring your face down like you're kissing your yoga mat to protect your neck here. We're going to bring both legs up at the same time. So you might like to walk the knees a little closer to your hands so you're really sealing your shoulders and chest down to the mat. Exhale, inhale. Lift both legs at the same time. Come up quickly. Use your momentum to lift the legs up. Try to keep them straight and try to keep them squeezed together. You might not get them up as high, but you're going to build more strength that way. Roll the weight forward into your upper arms, into your shoulders, your chest. Lift the legs up a little more and release. Come down. Roll your arms out from under you. Bring your right ear to the mat. Chin to the mat for full locust. So we're going to lift upper and lower body at the same time. Bring your arms out like airplane wings. Bring your legs together. Exhale. And then on your inhale, lift it all up. Flying forward, heart center, pull the shoulders back a little, look up a little. Feel that stretch across the chest. Lift the legs a little more. And release left ear to the mat. Second set, bring your chin to the mat. And then let's take a clasp with our hands behind us for this next one. Legs together still. Exhale. And then on your inhale, lift everything up and pull back on your arms. Imagine that you're pulling yourself up off of the mat with those arms. Reach them back. Lift the legs up a little bit more. Then lift the chest and shoulders a little bit more, keeping the legs high. And release right ear to the mat. Chin to the mat for floor bow. We will do 2 sets. So you're always welcome to take the modification when we're doing 2 sets of just doing one leg at a time. Otherwise, you're going to bend your knees, reach back for the outside of your feet, just below your toes, gluing all 5 fingers together and then working those knees back towards one another. Let's exhale and press our hip bones and our belly down into the mat. And then inhale, kick into your grip. As you do, it'll rock you back, but then rock forward, lift the knees up, look up, trying to get that teardrop shape with the body. Kick hard into your grip, relax your shoulders, and enjoy that stretch. And then release, left ear to the mat. Chin to the mat for our second set, or your other leg if you chose to do one leg at a time. So find your grip, work those knees back towards one another. They don't need to be touching, but work them a little closer together. Exhale and press your belly and hips down to the mat, and then inhale, kick up, look up. And release. You can bring right ear to the mat. Maybe you'd like to windshield wiper the legs a little side to side. And then press yourself back into child's pose when you're ready. Two more deep breaths here. And then we'll bring ourselves on up to our knees for camel. 2 sets of camel. So knees just below the hips here. And then bring your hands to your low back. Fingers pointing down. Pinch the elbows towards one another behind you. So you're broadening the chest. You're stretching the chest. Lift your chest. Look up and start to go back. Maybe reaching back for the heels. Drop the head back as much as you can. If you have the heels, then you want to try to press the hips forward. We want to try to keep the hips stacked over the knees. Keep lifting out of the low back. Go ahead. If you have your grip, bring your hands back to your low back. Come out slowly. Take a breath. You can sit back on your heels if you need to. Sometimes you can feel a little woozy or lightheaded or even emotional coming out of camel. So just observe those things, work with it, show yourself some grace. Go ahead and come up for a second set if you're ready. We'll bring knees just a little wider than hips here in second set. Hands to the low back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, go back. Try reaching for the heels. If they're close but not quite, you could tuck the toes, getting those heels up a little higher so that they're more accessible. If you're keeping your hands on your low back, you might want to put some pressure there into the pelvis to find more length in your lower spine. We'll bring our hands back to our low back and come out slowly. Sit on your heels, bring your knees together, rounding forward now in rabbit. You're going to slide your hands down to cup your heels, which is hard to do until we lift the hips up. So let's go ahead and tuck the chin, pull your belly in, round forward. Try to get your forehead on your knees or as close to it as possible. Now we can really cup the heels. Get a good grip there with the feet, and then inhale, start lifting those hips up away from your heels. Try to keep your forehead connected to your knees or as close as possible. As you lift the hips, a little bit of weight comes into the crown of the head, but you're holding your body weight here with that traction in the hands and the feet. Arms straighten, belly tight. Feel that stretch along the back side of the spine. Slowly round yourself up. And let's come to a seat on our mat. Bring your right leg out, left foot in. Let's take Janu Shirshasana with our forehead to knee connection. So if you need to bend your leg to get your knee to your forehead, that's fine. Inhale, lift the arms up, really stretch the entire spine, make a basket with your hands, and then reach forward and place that basket on the bottom of your foot. So bend the knee to get there if you need to. Then tuck your chin, get that forehead to knee connection. Anytime we have forehead to knee connection, it's less about the stretch and more about the compression we're creating in the body. So don't worry about having to bend that leg. Keep your chest and your shoulders squared to that right leg. One more breath. We'll inhale, come on up and switch legs. Left leg out, right foot in. Inhale, reach up, stretch, make a basket with the hands. Exhale, reach forward, place that basket on the bottom of the foot. Bend the knee to get there if you need to. And then tuck the chin, forehead to knee. So once you're down into this, then you can try straightening the leg a little bit more. But keep that forehead to knee connection. If the leg is straight and you have your forehead on your knee, you can work on then bringing the elbows down around the calf, maybe even pulling back on the upper part of that foot so that the heel lifts from the mat. One more breath. Well, slowly come on up on your inhale. Bring that left foot to meet the right there. Come into butterfly. Open your feet up like a book. Don't hold them together. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. And then exhale, you can begin to hinge forward if you'd like, if you want more of a stretch. You could even press your elbows into your legs. Try to get the knees a little lower to the ground. You could press the outer edges of your feet into one another. That activation helps release your hip flexors. Go ahead and inhale. Come on up. Bring both legs out in front of you. Keep your feet flexed. Walk your hips back under you. Maybe even sitting on a towel or blanket, or roll up the back of your mat to have something, just a little support under the hips to help keep you leaning forward and spine nice and long. Grab your big toes with your 2-piece fingers. Again, bending the knees if you need to reach there. Inhale, lift up out of the hips, lengthen the entire spine. Then exhale, reach that chest forward, pulling the belly in. And then come down into your forward fold. Drop your head when you can't go any further. Relax the head. Inhale, come back up. We're going to lay down on our mat, grab your block or your rolled up towel or blanket, whatever you've got for your supported bridge. So have that handy as you lay back on your mat. You're going to bend your legs and bring your feet to the mat to set up here. Push into the feet, lift your hips, and slide your block underneath your hips, supporting your pelvis on that block. It should be comfortable, so reposition it so that you can just let go and relax on your block there. Typically, people like it at that mid-level, but if that feels like too much for you, drop it down, lower it to the flattest level. Nice deep breaths here. Chin is slightly tucked, the back of the neck is long. Take a few breaths, scan the body. Notice if you're holding tension anywhere. Maybe in your hips or legs or your belly. Maybe in your shoulders, your neck, your chest. Just notice where that tension is. Try to breathe into it, let it go. Fully relax here. You can stay here if you'd like, or you can stretch your hip flexors by bringing your right knee in towards your right shoulder. Hug that knee in. You should feel it here in the left hip. If you'd like, you could even extend that left leg long. So it's hovering off of the mat. Play around with whether you have that left foot flexed or maybe toes pointed. Maybe you'd like to go back and forth here with the foot flexed and pointed. Or maybe you just want to hold one that feels good. And bring your left foot to the mat if that leg's extended, and then let the right foot join it. Take a breath there. And then we'll bring the left knee in. Same grip around the knee there, pulling it in towards your left shoulder, keeping your right leg where it's at, or maybe extending the leg if you took that option on the other side. Playing around with that foot being flexed or pointed or going back and forth. Really hugging that left knee in towards the left shoulder as much as you can. And then we'll bring our right foot to the mat. Let your left foot join it. Take 3 breaths here. Then after that third breath, press into your feet to lift your hips and slide your block out from under you. Set it aside. You can keep your knees bent and cross your right ankle over your left knee. We're going to take a reclined pigeon. So you'll lift your left foot off of the mat, then bring that knee in towards your chest. Reach through, and you can either find a grip there around your knee or around the back of that leg and pull it in towards you. And then I like to use my right elbow into that right leg to keep it from coming in towards you, because as you bring the left leg in with that right leg crossed over, the right knee will naturally just come in towards you. But if you can press it away from you, you'll feel more of a stretch in that right hip. So same stretch we get in pigeon when we're on the mat sitting up. It's the same stretch in that front leg that you get. We're not getting the stretch then having that back leg extended behind us, but we did just get a nice stretch there in our hip flexors with that stretch on the block. Keep your legs crossed. You can release that grip and just let the legs fall to the left side of your mat. So you can keep the legs crossed here and just bring that right foot will be flat on the ground, and you can look towards your right shoulder, or you could go ahead and cross the legs completely like eagle legs, where that right leg stays on top. Last breath. We'll bring our legs back, center here, feet to the mat. Cross your left ankle now over your right knee. Bring the legs in towards you. Find your grip with that right leg. Maybe a little pressure into that elbow, keeping your left leg from coming in towards you. Go ahead and release your grip. Let your legs fall over to the right side of your mat, just keeping them the way they are, looking left, or maybe taking that option of going ahead and crossing it all the way over for eagle legs there. One more breath. We'll bring it back in. Take a knee in each hand, hug them in, draw big circles with the knees. Go around 2 or 3 times in one direction and then switch and go the other way. Big circles. And then finally release your legs down to the mat. Come into Shavasana, relaxing down. Let go of any tension. Take a nice big inhale. Nice big exhale. And with that exhale, let go of controlling the breath. Let your breath return to its natural state. Soften the belly. Stay here as long as you can this morning. Namaste.